I do remember being at, I believe, at Widener, and I think we lost a tough ball game down there. And I remember a lot of the kids, and I was always observant of, you would see how they react to these things. And I remember them grabbing lockers and saying to each other, "We're not losing again, we're not losing again." And it started to hit you that, the kids, these guys really believe.
We were so close as a team, and we were like a bunch of brothers, and we were guys that spent a lot of time together working really hard, and we had coaches we believed in.
I think the initial reaction was the jubilation, and then I also think it was like tears of just tears of joy, and we did it.
It is the epitome of you really had to be there to see it happen, the semifinal game and obviously the championship game as well.
What if I told you that at the Valley, it really is possible?
All right, here we go. Lebanon Valley with the ball and down by 2 with 2.9 seconds remaining. Jason Say to inbound. Danny Stevens looking him eye to eye.
Here comes Rhodes.
It is Mike Rhodes inside the line. He throws it up, blocked by Gabriel. Tipped to the basket. Laid up and in. Does it count?
Yes!
It does!
Yes!
Oh, baby! I think it was Steve Zieber.
The lessons we learned from that national championship team, 20 years later, there's not a day goes by that some part of that team or that experience going through there, that footprint isn't part of our lives today.
In the spring of 1994, a small school in central Pennsylvania, consisting of fewer than 1,000 students, rallied around its men's basketball team as it attempted to do something that no program at Lebanon Valley College had ever done: to knock off mighty New York University, a school with an enrollment of nearly 50,000 students. To become the only team in the NCAA Division III men's basketball tournament to win its final game. To win a national championship.
In 1992-93, our team, we had a pretty good year, and our guys were sophomores and they were starting to come into their own. We ended up going to Scranton in the NCAA playoffs with a chance to advance to the Sweet 16. They beat us. If I remember back correctly, on the bus ride home, we were on the bus maybe about a half hour, 45 minutes, and certainly the season was over. And I think despair turned into optimism, and I think that was really where the seeds were sown for those juniors now to take it by the horns, and really it became a team that was really hard to be reckoned with.
I think there was a feeling like first you want to win, so many ball games, and you want to win your league, and then you want to beat certain rivals, and we were accomplishing those things, so there was no lack of confidence.
It was an unreal run, especially since a lot of people didn't think we could do it, but I think our team and our coaching staff thought we definitely had opportunities to move forward and win games.
The Flying Dutchman capped off a memorable 1993-1994 regular season with a Middle Atlantic Conference championship. But for this team, the conference title was just the beginning.
The team ended up capturing the MAC championship at home against Uppsala, and that was a big step for our program because there were 17 straight losing seasons before Coach Flannery arrived. As we got into the first round of the playoffs, we hosted Johns Hopkins University here and beat them it was a grind-out game. The following week, then, we had to go to F&M, which was our nemesis, to play in that sectional for the right to go to the Final Four. And we faced UMass Dartmouth in the first game, and they really didn't calibrate for how great of a guard Mike Rhodes was, because Mike just shredded him. We just chopped him up because our guys knew how to find each other. We ended up playing Amherst in that right to go to the Final Four. We beat them and beat them pretty solidly. The trip to Buffalo to win that game, both games in overtime, I think it was a credit again to the preparation of Coach Flannery. And then when you looked at the leadership of our team and just being battle tested, we were down, I want to say, 9 points with about 2.5 minutes to play against Wittenberg.
Most people talk about the championship game, but I'd say relatively few remember what happened in the semifinals. They were down playing Wittenberg, and the lead was as much as 16 points. And we're thinking, wow, this is a nice trip, resigned to finishing third or fourth in the whole thing.
And Scott Stevenson makes one of the biggest plays of the game. Mike Rhodes gets fouled on a three-point play. He makes his first two shots. Mike misses the third, which was probably deliberate. He had it all planned with Stevenson the whole time.
And then all of a sudden things start to come together.
Scott back-tapped it. Mike caught it, gathered it, shot a three, and made it. And we scored 5 points in the matter of 2 seconds. And then from there, we steamrolled them, and I think we outscored them 14-1 in overtime.
You know, you can sit here and say, oh, well, we knew getting into overtime. Yeah, we played better than Wittenberg, and we deserved that game, and we felt we deserved that game.
In some ways, as great as the championship game was, the semifinal game was, I'd say, even more exciting.
Now it sets up where, you know, you're playing for the national championship game.
The national championship game. Buffalo, New York. The stage was set for a real-life version of the movie Hoosiers, and it didn't disappoint.
All right, here we go. Lebanon Valley with the ball and down by 2 with 2.9 seconds remaining. Jason Say to inbound. Danny Stevens looking him eye to eye.
Here comes Rhodes.
It is Mike Rhodes inside the line. He throws it up, blocked by Gabriel. Tip to the basket. Laid up and in. Does it count?
Yes!
It does!
Yes!
Oh, baby! Steve Sieber gets this game to overtime.
I remember standing at the banquet and looking at our kids in the eye and saying to them, we belong here. We should be here. And we practiced that way and we played that way. Now you go into this, you know, David Goliath by school size. But the fact is we had seen teams and we always played. I'm very proud that we always played a tough schedule. So there was no awe in our kids.
John Harper, you feel for a player like that, he would die to be in this ballgame. That ankle injury is obviously too much right now. Sieber, big three for Sieber, will be nothing but net.
From a broadcasting perspective, it was one of the greatest experiences I ever had. It's something I'll always remember being even a small part of the broadcast and just watching the team grow as it did.
Jason Say pops out. There is Sieber with 6, fires it with 5. It'll be short, you can tell that, and a big offensive rebound, and that shot clock is off now.
They don't have to shoot.
And Mike Rhodes penetrates as is fouled.
Sometimes people say, I hope the team just isn't happy to get there and then kind of lets down.
Play good defense, don't rebound, don't give a second shot.
National championship on the line. There is big-time play by Crawford, big-time play by Jason Say, and a foul called on the Violets with 9.5 seconds left.
I remember after the semifinal game against Wittenberg, we really talked about, hey, we're going to win this thing. We weren't just happy being there. We wanted to win it.
In this instance, the coaches really have a chore to have to do to get their players to say, okay, we've done a really great thing. Got another leg to go here. We didn't come here just to get to this game. We came here to win this game. So it really, I think, kind of shows you the great job that they would have had to do to get the players to kick it up another level.
And it is 2 shots, and Stevenson, nothing but the stroke.
Make sure that you...
There are other schools in this area who also have great basketball traditions, who have not yet been able to accomplish that.
And Lebanon Valley College is the NCAA Division III National Basketball Champion.
I'm very proud of this group that's going in to the Hall of Fame, particularly about their toughness and their desire to play basketball and to be good people. And that's the thing I'll always be proudest of. And the results, are great, but they're the things that is always very special.
The heart-stopping victory over NYU is still fondly remembered as one of the greatest games in the history of the NCAA tournament.
For somebody who wanted to do this for a very long time, it's really just, it's the big prize, so to speak.
To this day, it remains the only national championship ever won at Lebanon Valley. When the Dutchmen returned from Buffalo, students, faculty, and fans from across the Lebanon Valley were waiting for their team, their champions, with a warm welcome. And the loyal spirit of an old friend could be felt as fondly throughout campus as the joy of a newly won national title.
Every campus should have one. Lebanon Valley College in Annville, Pennsylvania, has had Frank Ofstismus for 45 years. Generations of students knew him as Hot Dog Frank. Hot Dog Frank loved Lebanon Valley. Any basketball season the Flying Dutchman beat their arch-rival Albright, the Hot Dogs were on him. This year, the big climactic game of the basketball season brought tiny Lebanon Valley, enrollment 950, up against giant New York University, enrollment 49,000. For the National NCAA Division Championship, it was a slow buzzer that sent the game into overtime. And in overtime, tiny Lebanon Valley went on to win over big New York University 66-59. Lebanon Valley has never had a national championship before. Hot Dog Frank, he was not there, nor did he see the climactic game on television, because just before game time, at the age of 92, Frank Aftismus had died. But the president and students of Lebanon Valley have no doubt that there were 6 players playing for the Flying Dutchman that final game. For everybody in the Lebanon Valley knows whose finger was on that buzzer Saturday night.
For 2 decades, it has served as a reminder that at the Valley, it's possible.
That is winning your last ball game of that year. How many people in sports can ever say that? And we talked about this as a team when it was over, and we've talked about it subsequently. And that's such a special thing to think of, I don't know how many hundreds of schools, and to end up standing as one.
Here we are 20 years later, and we still have that feeling. No one can ever take that away from us. And as we get older, our memories maybe we'll get older, and we may forget some things, but we remember how we felt and how we felt about each other as teammates and as brothers, and we still have those relationships.
We were pretty darn lucky in '89 that they let us come down here and be part of this family and be part of the experience of what these kids were able to accomplish.
The greatest thing about winning the national championships, we have it. We did it with people we love to play with, that we respected each other so much, and you know, we were a great example of putting the team first and finding ways to help our teammates move forward and win, and we did that.
There's not a day goes by that I don't think about it in some way, or we can wear rings and we can hang banners, but that feeling and that pride that you have, it stains your soul in a positive way forever, that no one can ever take that away. They can take away trophy cases, they can take away banners, they can take away rings. It's the greatest feeling and one of the greatest nights of my life.
And even though they weren't my kids, I was proud to be part of it. I was very proud to be part of it. It all came together for a national championship, something that this school may never see again, and other schools in this area with great traditions may also never see again, no matter how hard they might try.
Guys, welcome to the LVC Hall of Fame. Your legacy continues.
Somewhere in there are a group of national title holders.
This is a special group of kids, a special group of young men, that every one of you had a part in this and should be so proud of that. Lebanon Valley thinks of all of you as being special student athletes of their university, and always represent that well, and I know you will, but certainly congratulations to you as well. What a special night. Enjoy. And again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to talk to you all tonight.